You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Business Access TV comes to you from the PSOJ's President's Forum, hosted by NCB under the theme Digitization Day One Mindset. Stay with us for the highlights.
Now, you know that digital technologies has reshaped the whole international development, our whole life, really. And it is one of those aspects in the new paradigm of technology. And it is imperative that our businesses understand the importance of digitization. Many of you, I look in the room, who probably, some of you, not all, might have been around probably 20, 30, 40 years ago and had all these files, and you would go to meetings with files, and then you realize all of a sudden you have no space to store the files, right? And what happens if there is flooding or there is fire? Right? So it's very important. And we need to keep pace with what is happening in terms of technology. Digitization is just one of them.
Over the past year, the PSOJ has been heard to speak on a plethora of issues across a wide subject area of national life. This activity has engendered some criticism as to its appropriateness and authority to do so. And it is, I submit, necessary for me to make, hopefully, an evidence-based response to some of these criticisms. Let me point out that in democracies and non-statist countries such as ours, the private sector, the civil society, are partners with the government and with the state, and should be, the private sector in particular, should be the engine of growth, innovation, creativity, and change. The state then assumes the role of facilitator and regulator of the economy and of social life. Secondly, the path that Jamaica has taken over the past several decades is one which requires that the state move away from the control of the commanding heights of the economy and allow for participation by the private sector to a much greater degree in ensuring growth and development through enterprise and the investment of private capital. This implies a much greater degree of independence, involvement, participation, and dialogue, and yes, criticism. Not only by the private sector, but indeed civil society in general. It can't be any other way unless we want to return to the days of Bakra Masa and clientelism. So in attempting to do the job that some people unfortunately and probably mistakenly gave to me, I want to encourage each and every one of us to take up our God-given burden and to shoulder it in furtherance of a common objective, the betterment of our nation and its people, without fear or favor, prejudice or bias, like or dislike. We can't have it both ways. Either we give back control to one set of rulers or the other, or we encourage, cajole, coerce, demand, and persuade leadership from the set of managers that we choose through the democratic process of elections from time to time. Thirdly, the decision that we have made in the last decade to cast off the yoke of a low-wage economy, to stop being a mendicant nation that has gone to the IMF 15 times in the past 40-odd years, and to choose a path of growth and development that requires independent thought, hard choices, rigorous equity in our treatment of one another, creativity, good governance, and finally, accountability and transparency. This is, as Buju will tell us, not an easy road. We must realize that it cannot be business as usual, and it is incumbent on our thought leaders and influencers to create the understanding among our people that all hands must be on deck in furtherance of the achievement of our national and individual goals. The standard crab-in-a-barrel, partisan, selfish, tribalist, regional, parochial, and garrison behavior is a detriment to progress in creating an independent and truly sovereign, resilient state. The road we have chosen to come out of Egypt is by necessity involving the development and acceptance of a growth inducement strategy. Because in order to achieve our goals, it will take cash to care. We will have to complete the correction of our fiscal and monetary imbalances. And to some extent, we have done well, and we must give credit where credit is due. Successive governments have kept their noses to that grindstone. But we'll have to make our people technologically ready. We have to correct the underutilization of our productive capacity, the economic waste of our capital, and the concentration of our capital in highly capital incentive sectors and economic enclaves. A mighty set of tasks. But this country is equal to it. Our government cannot do it alone. So when the private sector is heard, and particularly the PSOJ, is heard cussing, whining, complaining, criticizing, and occasionally praising, we believe that we are doing our job. We speak on many subjects because we represent many categories of members: universities, banking, business processing, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing, distribution, entertainment, construction, energy, micro, small, and medium-sized businesses, and individuals, and recently, embalmers. You could say we represent the quick and the dead. This is the unique nature of the private sector organization of Jamaica. So we have to speak on many fronts. And we do this with a tremendous staff of 12 people, including 2 groundsmen and the office lady. In the process, we will mash some corns. We will ruffle some feathers. Maybe we'll even make some enemies. But hopefully, we will change some attitudes and some behaviors and cause some people to think and act positively. We ask for your understanding and your critical and constructive guidance and your realization that we are in a new paradigm. This topic this morning demonstrates a new aspect of that paradigm. And we hope that the message goes out loud and clear that we are in a brave new world requiring a different, mature, nationalist approach for us to have the chance to succeed.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall.
Unsecured loans.
Alleged corruption.
Follows the closure.
If they made this investment.
Brokers
Strive to increase revenues.
He sought some answers.
Financial meltdown.
Here are the week's final numbers. Here's Garth, News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale, Saturdays and Sundays.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357 or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It has always been a great opportunity to meet with some of the finest stewards of the nation's business and entrepreneurs at this much anticipated bi-monthly roundtable forum. I thank the PSOJ and other partners for your unrelenting support of and drive to further the development of our beloved nation. Your joint vision and effort has been propelling this unique event, which celebrates Jamaican businesses, as well as the hard-working entrepreneurs who are not just dedicated to winning at business, but are also dedicated to winning at life. At these breakfast gatherings, we are afforded the opportunity to enjoy good food, good company, and perhaps more importantly, to enjoy essential business insights that we are privileged to take back to our own companies and to enhance our individual business models and workplace environments. At NCB, we have seen the benefits of aligning ourselves with institutions like the PSOJ and supporting this forum that continues to create an avenue for like minds to develop solutions towards sustainable economic growth in Jamaica. I propose to you, ladies and gentlemen, that the journey towards achievement of this buoyant economy starts and ends with day one. I invite you to think back to the first day of the most exciting journey you have ever embarked on. Reflect on the fire of excitement you felt that kept you from being still. Your heart was racing with anticipation, perhaps, enthusiasm, and for some, a bit of anxiety. Perhaps it was the day that you entered university, or the day you were promoted to an executive level position, or perhaps for some, the day that you started your first business. It could even have been the day when you got a novel idea. While you may not have been sure how things would have turned out, you knew deep down that this had the possibility of being huge. But whatever the situation, we can recall being full of zeal and vision on that particular day. We had great plans, and our brains were teeming with ideas. For us, the sky was the limit. The world was our oyster. And anything, well, no, everything was possible. This is the energy and invincibility that categorizes Day One. At NCB, it is always Day One. It was Amazon founder and CEO Jeff Bezos who made famous the idea of remaining at Day One. The concept, however, is not inherently new, but speaks to maximizing your company's potential, focusing on the big picture, and remaining zealous in our quest for success. Still, it is surprising how many businesses have regressed to day two and died. That is why innovation and vision continue to be pivotal in the success of businesses. In the words of American physicist William Pollard, and I quote, "Learning and innovation go hand in hand. The arrogance of success is to think that what you did yesterday will be sufficient for tomorrow." End of quote. And he was right, wouldn't you agree? So, accepting this to be true, at NCB, we have developed and adopted the core principles. We have adopted the core principles of Day One, which are now fast becoming our culture, are now fast becoming the way of life at NCB. These principles include the following 4 key ideas. And the first idea, the first principle of Day One is being customer obsessed. Many of us here today are in the customer facing business, and we all have customers as businesses. So being customer obsessed is the first principle of Day One. The second is resisting proxies. The third principle, embracing global trends. And fourth and finally, making high quality decisions at high velocity. And these practices have been effective in helping us to gain record profits as well as achieving our 2020 strategy, which is NCB 2.0, faster, simpler, stronger, raising the bar and setting the standard for the financial services industry. Allow me please to highlight just a few other ways in which we at NCB have implemented these principles in our own operations and the success that we have garnered. Let's focus on the first principle, that is being customer obsessed. Former Apple CEO Steve Jobs said, and I quote, "Our belief was that if we kept putting great products in front of our customers, then they would continue to open their wallets." End quote. It has been working for Apple, and I dare say that I believe it is working for us. Truth is that technology is the way of the future. Our customers want faster, hassle-free service, and we aim to meet the needs of these customers. To that end, we avoid being preoccupied with the affairs of our competitors, but instead, we keep focused on our clients, listening to what they have to say, and then upping the ante, remaining one step ahead. And our work speaks for itself. Of late, we have embarked on enhancing how we serve our customers with the aim of exceeding their expectations and providing them with more technologically based banking options with which we were first to market. Some of these include the following: our online account opening, and this allows our customers to open accounts online in as little as 5 minutes. To execute this solution, we also introduced the self-service account opening option in branches via our online portal. Then too, we have changed the face of lending with the introduction of our fully digital instant loan. And this is a term facility which is fulfilled 100% digitally. More recently, we introduced our pay advance loan, and this is a monthly facility which is offered to customers of NCB, and this facility attracts no interest. It is repayable in 1 month from the salaries of our clients that are deposited with us, principal along with a fee. And our customers are pre-approved and can avail themselves of these funds at their convenience at the touch of a button through our online portal. For the many customers who continue to be served through our branch network, we have enhanced our lending platform to deliver straight-through processing. And this process sees our unsecured customers, unsecured consumer loan customers, as well as our credit card customers having their proceeds credited their accounts prior to leaving the sales officer.
Share with us the journey you've had being here for 7 months and now that you leave.
It was a very good journey. I learned a lot. As you know, I'm also a member of the PSOJ, and so it was good for me to get to see what was happening on the other side. And so I think we have done an awesome work with a very small staff that we have. We continue to put on functions and to find topics that were of interest and of relevance. I mean, this one was very good, and I recall the one we did in May on disaster preparedness and risk management. And we did that really to be having it before the hurricane season. So we try to find topics and speakers that are relevant to the particular time. So it has been a very good journey. I think if you don't take it on, whether you're going to do it in your, you see, you need to use it, utilize it in your business processes. I can tell you, I have been involved in companies that have done it, and it has made tremendous difference to the offering of service to the customer. So delivering good service really is not just front house. It really starts in the back room, the back office. And so you have to, I wouldn't even say automate, you have to sometimes re-engineer those processes using technology in order for you to be cutting edge and above the rest. And you also have to keep up. Even a simple thing like your telephone system. Many people don't even realize that for your telephone system, it's much cheaper in the long run to put in a VoIP, for example. You know, and I'm sure later on it will move beyond that. So you always have to you have to learn and know what's happening in your industry so that you are able to be always innovative and always a step ahead.
You spoke about digitization this morning. Are there any fundamental issues that often challenge organizations in their attempts to digitize?
One of the key challenges I think an institution will face in their attempt to digitize their processes and their business is the mindset of the individuals they have on board. At NCB, we have used the agile approach as we sought to change the business, and this essentially requires close collaboration of small groups of persons and persons who have specific skill sets required. And what we find companies may not readily and individuals may not readily give up power, decision-making autonomy to junior persons within the organization. But we find that method of working really helps to accelerate the decision-making, and the decisions are made at the level where persons are interacting most closely to the customers or end users of our products. So that's one key challenge. The other challenge that I think institutions will find is the available key resources. Many of the skill sets that are required are not readily available, and because many companies are embarking on this journey, we find that the demand is high. The demand is high for developers, it's high for programmers, it's high for Scrum Masters. We at NCB have had to do much of our training internally for our Scrum Masters, for example, and supplemented resource requirements with persons from the outside. So these are two key challenges that I think that institutions will face. In addition, I think as well, just the pace at which decisions now have to be made. They have to be made with higher velocity. And traditional institutions tend to be hierarchical, very bureaucratic. The agile way of working requires decisions to be made very quickly. So that requires a mindset shift within organizations that are embarking on these journeys.
NCB is fully immersed into the whole digitization process. How can other banks accelerate innovation through digitization?
Well, I think one way would be to imitate us. But certainly it requires focus, it requires dedication, it requires executive commitment, and not just paying with service, but really assigning time and assigning resources to ensure that the journey is successful. It has to be funded. It is not inexpensive, but it's an investment in delivering service, quality service for our customers, and therefore is one that has to be made. It has to have executive commitment from the get-go if companies are to be successful. Digitization in and of itself is not a strategy. Really, digitization essentially is part of the business strategy and serves to enhance the overall business goals and objective of the institution, and therefore it has to be viewed in that context.
That's it from us here. Until next time, keep it locked to Business Access TV, serious about business.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show. And Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
I am Shani Jajo and you're watching Business Access.
Did you know that the Ministry of Finance is taking steps to make it easier for persons to make revenue appeals? No? Well, no worries. We have the details on this and more in your favorite Jamaica magazine. So stick around.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 23. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is assuring the people of Montego Bay that his administration is determined to restore peace in the parish. 2017 ended with over 300 murders in the parish, but already Mr. Holness says the enhanced security measures in place for the Second City have resulted in 196 fewer murders since the start of this year.
The government is not going to relent. The government will implement measures and stick with them for as long as it takes to bring genuine security to your communities.
The Prime Minister was addressing last night's town hall meeting in the capital. He told the gathering that as part of the ongoing social intervention in the parish, government was looking at land title settlement for residents in the Mount Salem Zone of Special Operations.
Once that is done, and we ensure that there is community participation, and that people are wardens of their own peace, that they can look to their neighbor and say, don't do that, without fear that the neighbor is going to go for a gun and do something illegal to them. Once we reach to that point, then we know that there can be peace, and the peace is going to be maintained by the citizens.
In the meantime, several projects valued at over $1.7 billion have been announced for implementation in Montego Bay next year. Among them is the closed Harbor Beach development, for which groundbreaking is set for January. The 16-acre property, also known as Dump Up Beach, will be transformed into a world-class multi-zoned public space by the Urban Development Corporation. The $1.3 billion project is being funded by the Tourism Enhancement Fund and the government.
This development is a recreation space for the enjoyment of the people, the regular people. There's not sufficient developed recreation space for the people of Jamaica. It is a part of the government policy to create these spaces. Exercises, people can hang out, they can do business.
Another project is the construction of a new commercial marketplace. Over $1 million is being allocated, and the groundbreaking is scheduled for the first quarter of 2019. Meanwhile, $385 million will be used for the overlaying of roadways in the city.
These roadways includes Barnett Street, Harbour Street, St. James Street, Union Street, Market Street, Creek Street, and Dome Street.
Also in the pipeline is the development of the Charles Gordon Market. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has ordered a full review of the budgeted costs for the new Welcome to Montego Bay sign and attraction in St. James. In a release issued on Wednesday, Mr. Bartlett said he had instructed Permanent Secretary Jennifer Griffith to conduct the review to ensure transparency. In addition to the review, private sector interests in Montego Bay have committed $5 million to help offset the costs. It was announced that construction of the sign and attraction would cost $17 million. The Tourism Ministry says the development of the new sign falls within the extension of the Eastern Gateway project. This is a series of beautification works running west along the Elegant Corridor from Greenwood to the Sangster International Airport roundabout. The Tourism Product Development Company will execute the project with funding from the Tourism Enhancement Fund. The previous Welcome to Montego Bay sign was damaged in a motor vehicle crash. In other tourism news, the United States-based Frontier Airlines made its inaugural flight to the island with 88 passengers and 6 crew members last weekend. The plane landed at the Sangster International Airport in St. James after its departure from North Carolina. Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the airline will have 2 weekly flights to Jamaica on Wednesdays and Saturdays. This schedule will continue throughout the 2018-2019 winter tourist season.
The arrival of Frontier
represents the start of a wave of about 8 other such gateways that we're going to be opening up over the next few weeks as we enter into the traditional winter season. Jamaica is excited about the prospects of expanding the range of connectivity across the number of markets that we have.
Frontier Airlines, headquartered in Denver, Colorado, is the 8th largest U.S. commercial airline. It has flights to over 100 cities in the United States, Canada, Dominican Republic, Mexico, and now Jamaica. Tax Administration Jamaica, TAJ, is to implement a mobile application that facilitates motor vehicle registration and fitness fee payments online. The mobile app is to be fully operational within the next 4 months. It will eliminate the hassle of waiting in long lines for extended periods at TAJ locations. Using the app, persons will be able to search for a motor vehicle using the vehicle identification or chassis number. They can then pay the registration and fitness fees, view and print payment history, be notified about registration, fitness and insurance expiry dates, and utilize a selected courier service for document delivery. The app is being developed by eGov Jamaica Limited and will be accessible via mobile devices. The working prototype was presented to members of the TAJ's team on Tuesday.
What we're proposing is that once persons make the payment for the renewal of your registration, then those documents should be sent to you. Or those documents should be waiting in the tax office for you to come and just pick them up.
More than 70% of TAJ transactions are motor vehicle and driver's license related. And finally, the Prime Minister Youth Awards for Excellence will be held tomorrow evening on the lawns of Jamaica House. There are a total of 54 shortlisted persons in the categories of academics, agriculture, arts and culture, entrepreneurship, and environmental protection. Persons are also awarded in the areas of innovation in science and technology, international achievement, journalism, leadership, nation builder, sports and youth development. Among this year's nominees are Olympic gold medalist Omar McLeod, reggae girl Khadija Shaw, national discus thrower Frederick Dakers, international model Tammy Williams, and former Miss Jamaica Universe Davina Bennett. The Prime Minister Youth Awards for Excellence forms part of Youth Month 2018 celebrations, which is observed under the theme Level Up. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
We really want all of you to start thinking about how are you going to level up this November. And level up for us starts with self. So it's really a call to action for you to look at yourself and to see what can you do better, what more can you give, what more do you want to be. So we want all of you to use Youth Month to recommit, to do more, to do better, to go harder. But not just for self, but for communities. Because we believe that young people can change communities. But more than that, level up in your own lives so that we can level up Jamaica. Level, level, level up.
Hello and welcome to Finance Matters, a production of the Communication and Public Relations branch of the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. I'm your host, Daniel Pasley, and today we'll be speaking to Commissioner of the Revenue Appeals Division, Dr. Delary Staple Chambers. Thank you so much, Commissioner, for coming on the program.
Thank you, Daniel. I'm happy to be here.
Great. So when people think about revenue appeal, or should I say revenue appeals, what is it all about?
Okay, the Revenue Appeals Division is the arm of government that has provided a mechanism wherein persons who feel aggrieved about a tax assessment, they can question that assessment and have a review done by an independent body. The mandate is founded in law. The Revenue Appeals Division Act of 2015 provides the legal provisions under which such appeals can be managed. Persons are able to file an appeal against 14 different tax types, including income tax, PAYE, company income tax, education tax, GCT, customs duties, and all the other tax types that fall under the GCT Act, including stamp duty and the transfer tax. Once a person has received a decision from either the Commission of Jamaica Customs or the Tax Administration Jamaica, and they feel that that decision was in error, or they do not agree with the way in which a decision was made, they can use the services of the Revenue Appeals Division.
So this process is more seamless and it's within a shorter time frame, right?
Well, the mechanism is a quasi-judicial mechanism, meaning that you do not need the services of an attorney to access the service. So it's not a court, it's an administrative mechanism, and you as a taxpayer can serve yourself. You do not need to employ an attorney or even an accountant for that matter. That doesn't mean you cannot do it, but it's not necessary. And yes, what the mechanism is designed to do is to make accessing appeal more cost-effective and more efficient.
So in that case, if I'm interested in filing a complaint, what is the first step?
Well, the very first step is that you have to complete the Revenue Appeals form, which is called the RA01. That form is available on the Ministry of Finance website, or you can pick up hard copies at different tax offices across Jamaica, or even at our offices at 12 Ocean Boulevard, Kingston. Once you have received that form, you complete it in its entirety, and what it does is structure the information and provide a guide of the kind of documents and support that you need to support your appeal. You must also attach to that form a copy of the decision that you are appealing, as well as a list of the evidence that you will rely on to make your case. You submit that to the Revenue Appeals Division, and you can do that by bearer, through the post, or even email. And once we receive that, we will issue with a receipt to ensure, to let you know that we have accepted your appeal, and to also inform you of what to expect in the matter being handled. We provide you with a reference number where you can use that to track the process of your appeal. The mechanism that is provided in the Revenue Appeals Division Act of 2015 also provide new mechanisms or new processes under which the appeals can be addressed. So before we had only one standard process. Now we have multiple processes which can be used to resolve the appeal based on the complexity of the appeal or the nature of the appeal. And so what that has done is to provide efficiency mechanisms so that matters can be turned around in a faster time frame.
All right, so on the next program, we'll be talking a little bit more of the other processes and also some of the achievements of the RAD. Thank you so much, Dr. Delary Staple Chambers, for coming on the program, and I want to thank you, our viewers, for watching Finance Matters. I'm your host, Daniel Pasley.
Hey, ready to pack? Remember, the importation, manufacturing, distribution, and use of single-use plastic carrier bags, or scandal as we call them, plastic straws, and styrofoam containers will not be allowed come January 1, 2019. Plastics do not decompose readily and end up in our environment as solid waste for many years, stifling our animals, plant life, and our livelihoods too. Rethink, refuse, reduce the use of plastic. Start using environmentally friendly packaging. The ban on plastics is effective as of January 1, 2019. Preserve our land. Support the plastic ban.
We all know Jamaicans are a creative set of people, possibly the most creative in the world, if we do say so ourselves. But really, we simply know how to turn we hand make fashion. So it's no wonder steps are being taken right here on the island to hone the entrepreneurial skills of our young ones.
The Ministry of Education has partnered with the Junior Achievement Jamaica to help grade 9 students build a strong foundation in entrepreneurship. They're working to have the J-Seed program in every secondary school in Jamaica.
And the future is to be driven by entrepreneurship, because when you look at what technology is doing, technology displacing traditional jobs. So young people now have to find a niche. How can I now acquire knowledge and skills and find an opportunity for myself through entrepreneurship to create a viable business that I can earn a decent standard of living, feed my family, and have a prosperous life.
Formally an extracurricular activity, the Junior Achievement Entrepreneurship Program is now part of the secondary curriculum, and the Junior Achievement team has been getting educators ready to roll out the program.
It was very easy for us to replace business basics with entrepreneurship. We gave them a 40-minute session, so it's one session per week, per class, for the entire year. We were able to complete the entire syllabus, and all our third form students have been exposed to it. They're very excited. They have learned a lot.
We had the business education teacher and the home economics teacher working with the program. The hardest part about it was to get the parents to be a part and to accept that we need to keep the children 45 minutes more, 2 days per week. But at the end of it, grade 9 started to behave better, had better relationships, and we could actually see that something different was happening.
When we talk about the skills that the students are learning, they're not just writing in a book and then seeing what grade they get. They're actually running their business. So they have to develop their team. They have to actually create an idea or research what products they're going to deliver. They have to raise money.
When you look at Asia, North America, where they have an orientation towards business development, their whole economy is driven by small businesses, right? And that is what we want. So students now are not told by their parents that you must go and acquire education and look at a job. What you want to go to school, acquire knowledge and abilities so you can transition that to skills that can create new businesses. That is the new language that we want.
Apart from encouraging a culture of entrepreneurship in Jamaica, J-Seed is also helping our young people to develop skills for work and life.
We want to be able to teach our students to fail forward, where you fail, but it's such a significant opportunity and learning opportunity that it was worth it. When we look within our workspace, having the ability to generate an idea, formulate why that idea is important and why it would be beneficial, putting together that case and being able to communicate it is essential.
It's also essential to expose students to entrepreneurship before they decide on a career path. Kalia Smith, Special Projects Manager at Junior Achievement Jamaica, is a past junior achiever.
It really inspired me to choose a degree in entrepreneurship, not just for me to start my own business, but also that I can have that knowledge and skill set in whatever capacity that I want to work.
Now in 40 schools, the Ministry of Education and Junior Achievement Jamaica are working to have the J-Seed program in all secondary schools.
This is something you can use to enrich the offerings at your school. We need to make sure that our children are in line with the 21st century skills. The negotiation, the entrepreneurship skills, the communication skills, that's what they deliver when they have their own table talking. The critical thinking skills, the creativity skills.
Even if it means that I have to call the principals one by one, I am committed to ensuring that more of our principals are a part of this wonderful experience so that the students can benefit optimally.
Junior Achievement Jamaica and the Ministry of Education, partnering to implement the entrepreneurship curriculum in the 9th grade of all secondary schools in Jamaica.
Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right now or later. Read a book for the higher education. Read a book, oh what a sensation. Read a book, magazine, newspaper. Read a book right
Let the Book Bugs Bite is a reading, spelling and art competition aimed at enhancing children's educational development. It's hosted by the Jamaica Red Cross and is in its 7th staging. Here's a roundup of what took place this year as part of the organization's 70th anniversary as a national society.
Today we're having the Let the Book Bugs Bite competition, and we started with October in commemoration of Red Cross Month. But in the last 3 or so years, we've included children from state homes. And this year is particularly special because the Red Cross celebrates 70 years of existence in Jamaica.
Yes, for part 1 of the competition this year, children from 9 state care facilities in Kingston and St. Andrew gathered at the Red Cross's Kingston office at 76 Arnold Road for the 3-part challenge.
They do a reading competition, then we have spelling. They also give the words like a spelling bee contest, and they compete. Then there's the art, where they're given a theme, and they could prepare that from their base and bring it here today.
And after some impressive performances, the children and their coaches are awarded with prizes and surprises for their hard work and initiative.
Congratulations, my dear. There you go. And here's your bag of goodies and your... Yes. You can spread, madam? Congratulations. I know you can. You're second in the competition.
Okay. And that's not all. There was one more surprise about the competition this year.
This competition is going national this year because it's special. It has been confined to Kingston and St. Andrew, but we want to introduce it to the other parishes. And because it's the 70th year, we're really pushing hard to have that grand competition.
And so said, so done. Part 2 of the competition was bigger and better than ever before. The event was now open to primary school students from all across Jamaica. The Central Village Multipurpose Center came alive as Red Cross participants from the parishes of St. Thomas, Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, Clarendon and St. Elizabeth participated in a host of lively competitions. And before long, it was time for the much anticipated reading competition.
Once upon a time, Brother Anansi and Brother Tiger was courting the same girl. Anansi said, "What a foolish man you is, Brother Tukuma." Could figure the one thing Brother Rata couldn't resist was music. Brother Dog said, "Morning, Brother Nancy." And Nancy said, "Morning, Brother Dog." Up and holler, "It's a for me."
Followed by the nerve-wracking spelling segment.
The visit D-E-B-E-L-I-T-Y
S-E-C-R-E-T-A-R-Y, secretary.
That is correct. Hatchery, H-A-T-C-H-R-Y. Heritage, H-E-R-I-T-A-G-E, heritage. That is correct.
Encompass, E-N-C-O-M-P-A-S-S, encompass.
That is correct.
And after much deliberation by the judges, the winners of all 3 competitions were declared and awarded generously.
I am so proud today that 2 of my students got the first place prizes, one for the art and one for the spelling. They put a lot of work, especially the drawing needs some skill. And the spelling, I have a champion here already. So I'm so glad that they deserve that and they got that.
I feel so good. Words can't even express right now. I don't even know what to say. Well, it was rigorous, and sometimes I wanted to sleep and my eyes are falling, but I made up my mind and said I'm going to do this, and here's the result.
we do in fact need more organizations like the Red Cross, because given their vision and their mission, it can only redound to the benefit of our students. Competitions such as this, events such as this, really seek to target and hone our students' reading skills, spelling abilities, and I think the Red Cross is perhaps a real pioneer who has led the way remarkably, and it behoves more of our NGOs to follow suit.
Can you believe that there's only 1 week left before the end of Parent Month? Boy, time sure flies. But though Parent Month ends soon, parenting never ends. For tips on how you can forever be your child's best parent, watch this.
You are going to remain parent right up until the end of life. Even beyond age 18, you're still their parent. Make sure that they remain in school, they stay out of trouble, don't fall in a bad company. So parents lead by example and make sure that your children equally are good examples, are good and productive citizens, because all this investment must inure to a more productive and prosperous Jamaica. Indeed, a more peaceful Jamaica. Indeed, a Jamaica where the community is used to, which I want to get back, take care of its children.
Jamaica, this is Kevin Downswell. We original. We were blessed. We have something about us that the world craves. We don't need to compromise. We don't need to rob. We don't need to thief nobody. Everybody who watch this have something unique in them that God placed in you, that was used to bring you favor, was used to bring you wealth. Find it. It's inside of you. Whether they're on the street side, something special inside of you. Whether they're at the bar or drink rum and you try to drink away your troubles, listen to me. And I say go. If you find that thing is what is the very thing that will bring you wealth, the very thing that will bring your life to a level you never imagined. Everybody out there have a choice. And my challenge to you is choose to do the right thing. Choose to not bust that gun. Choose to not smoke that weed. Choose the right thing. Your decision will create a habit, and your habit will create a future. That means if your decision is wrong every day, your future will end up being popped down. But if you decide that you're not going to do that, and you're going to stand up for the right, watch it. Your future big. You're blessed. Jamaica, you're blessed. Youth, you're blessed. Girl, you're blessed. Love.
As we close today's show, we ask that you stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel. And while you are online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Sandra, reminding you that we are arbiters of our own destiny. God and nature first made us what we are, and then out of our own creative geniuses, we make ourselves what we want to be. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Chill Spot. On this episode, we'll be talking to Kamal Banki, a man who wears many hats. He'll be talking to us about his life as a DJ, a promoter, and a PR consultant as we hang out right here at the beautiful Sandals Ochi Beach Resort. So don't go anywhere. Chill Spot begins right now. Hi, Kamal. How are you?
Hi, Candy. I'm great.
So you've taken us here to Sandals Grand Ocho Rios, which I'm very excited about, but tell us why this is your chill spot.
Well, so I live in Kingston, which is, in my opinion, the cultural mecca of Jamaica.
Right, absolutely.
But sometimes you want to escape a little bit and come and chill somewhere outside of town. 45 minutes with the new highway. Ocho Rios is a perfect spot to chill, and this is the #1 spot to chill in Ocho Rios.
Well, I haven't seen very much of it, but from what I have seen and experienced just in the first 5 minutes, I'm very excited
Well,
about
take it
that.
from me. I'm here all the time, and believe me, there's the world to do here. Great food, activities, lots of fun.
So that being said, what exactly are we going to be doing today?
Well, a little of this, a little of that. I mean, we're gonna have some lunch, of course. Gonna taste some cocktails at the bar. We're gonna do some sports. I'm a big sports fan.
I would imagine that Sandals has a lot of food options and places for us to eat. Where exactly are we going to be eating here? Which is your spot?
In true Jamaican style, and this is actually the best kept secret of Sandals. Oh, they brought a drink for you.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, delicious. Like I said, all in the first 5 minutes. All in the first 5 minutes.
The best kept secrets of Sandals. They have some of the most delicious jerk in the entire country.
Are you sure?
I will tell you this. The people that know me best know that I'm a real foodie. I cook, I own a restaurant, I eat like copious amounts of food. I know food. And I can tell you, the jerk hut here, it's giving Scotches a run for its money. I'm gonna let you decide.
You're making me
salivate,
salivate, okay? So.
It's probably better.
All right, so what are we going to be doing first?
So the first thing is that I'm going to show you the property. This property is actually really cool. It has two sides. So you have the beach side and the manor side, and you have excellent food and drink options on both sides. But we're going to check the bar up here. It's lovely.
Perfect. I'm ready to get started. Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, I thought you meant... I thought you meant the first move for all of them.
Coming up.
From what we've done, conservative estimates are somewhere about $1.5 billion Jamaican pumped into the economy because of the Dream Weekend effect.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
So, a man who wears many hats. You are a DJ, you are a promoter, and you are part owner of a restaurant, Ribbies. Let's start with the promoter side and the business of entertainment. How did you get involved with Dream Entertainment?
So, Dream Entertainment is, in my opinion, one of the most dynamic and, leading entertainment companies actually in Jamaica. Dream Entertainment started from the Dream Team, which is a group of promoters who basically do a lot of the signature events across Jamaica, and we decided that we're going to unite and join forces to bring some of the events that we all were doing in Negril under one banner. So I was doing an event called Wet and Wild with my partners down there on ATI. Some other people were doing some of the ATI parties, some people were doing RTI parties, and we joined forces along with the Smirnoff exclusive team and brought you the best events on one armband. So that's how Dream Weekend was born. Dream Weekend has had a significant impact not only on the entertainment industry, but generally on the Negril resort town. Obviously, the concept of what Dream is was started by ATI. So they were the originators of that whole party weekend concept.
That whole idea, yes.
In Negril. And if there was no ATI, there would be no Dream Weekend. But we think that we've refined it and made it a bit more workable and marketable internationally. So right now we get about 20,000 people to Negril for that weekend.
Wow, 20,000?
Yeah. About 20,000. And based on the latest surveys that the JTB has done, about 51–52% of those are actually tourists.
International, right?
Yeah, not Jamaicans who come home for summer. People who live and work abroad. Mainly from the eastern seaboard of the United States, including Toronto, the United Kingdom, and basically we have representation from all continents. From what we've done, conservative estimates are somewhere about $1.5 billion Jamaican pumped into the economy because of the Dream Weekend effect.
Would you say having that significant impact on the economy is your greatest accomplishment where Dream is concerned?
Impact on the economy in terms of direct spend is, I think, number one. And a close second is direct employment between, you know, security, bartenders,
Absolutely.
lifeguards, safety people.
You guys have a lot of employees for that weekend.
Yeah, I mean, we bring down in excess of 300 people to the town. That's our staff
Right.
for the weekend. And then you have contracted employees and, you know, people that are coming in like DJs and stuff like that.
What would you say is unique about the Dream experience?
If you understand how Negril is laid out geographically, it's a 7-mile strip on the beach with hotels, party venues, restaurants, bars, all the way up. Now, there's nowhere else in Jamaica that you have that. Very few places in the world actually have that logistic, you know, benefit, and you're able to keep events there. So while there are actually bigger venues in Jamaica, single event venues, the whole logistics of people staying where they're partying on one strip, and then we're actually able to use shuttle buses up and down the strip so people don't have to drive anywhere. That's unique, you know, and they can hop from restaurant to bar to party to their hotel to somebody else's hotel. You know, basically for 6 days, that is, in my opinion, one of the greatest experiences ever.
Very convenient, I should say. And what can patrons expect from this year's staging?
Well, so we have, in my opinion, the most high energy event anywhere in the world, which is Extreme Wet and Wild. The energy that you get at Extreme Wet and Wild is unparalleled. There's nowhere else that's doing something like that. We have a concert. We have great artists, great DJs playing on every event. Our sponsors for this year, Appleton Special, they're back on board. They're actually owning some of the events. So you're gonna see, you know, a different presentation of the look and feel of some of these events, the bars, you know, what we serve there. It's a higher level.
What would you say is one of the biggest misconceptions about being a party promoter or being in this industry?
That it's fun. Yeah.
So it's not?
It's a lot of hard work. I work so that you have fun.
Right.
So basically, you know, when people are enjoying themselves and whatever, I'm kind of a lot of the times in the background, you know, making sure everything is
right. But it really does seem so glamorous from the outside. I really imagine that as a party promoter, you guys would have a lot of fun doing it.
I feed off the energy, you know, so I enjoy seeing people have fun. I myself am worrying about 10 million things while it's happening.
Right.
So I don't necessarily get to enjoy it, but
Absolutely.
I mean, you know, seeing people enjoy themselves is one of the reasons why I do this.
All right, so let's take off the Dream hat now.
Okay.
All right, and let's put on the Ribbies hat.
Cool.
Okay, and tell us how that started.
So, a young man named Garth Walker, who is a good friend of mine and also part of the Dream team, decided to have this Wealth Grillers team entered in the Jamaican All-Island Grill-Off. Being a foodie myself, you know, I was always, you know, passionate about food and cooking and grilling and whatever. Ribby Chung, who is the person who started Asylum and Cactus and Quad and those places, he was known at times to go behind the grill and, you know, grill up some stuff himself. And of course, Don Creary, who is a self-proclaimed master chef, right? We were invited by Garth, who cannot cook, to be the actual chefs on the team while Garth served the food. So we went and we entered this All-Island Grill-Off and we started cooking together. The first year we entered, we actually came second overall, but won in a few categories. And then the second year we won overall. And yeah, thank you. And then the whole process of bonding and coming together, we had this rapport and whatever in terms of, you know, partnership. Garth being not at all skillful in the kitchen or food and beverage, he is a media man, he's an events man. But the rest of us who are loosely involved in entertainment and promotions and, you know, being a promoter myself, food and beverage, intrinsically, we said, hey, you know, let's have a little bar, let's do a little bar. And an opportunity came our way to take over the Acropolis Arena. And, you know, we kind of said to ourselves, well, you know, It's a nice little chill spot. You know, we can have, you know, a few drinks after work, invite some of our friends over. And, you know, we started July 1st, 2013. And basically, it's blossomed into one of the most amazing entertainment night spots in Jamaica.
And do you have any other professional pursuits right now?
Yes, I'm a PR consultant. I do corporate PR consultancy and strategy. I've been doing that for maybe about 10 plus years with some big corporate clients.
Right. And I think I was told that you're also a DJ.
It's always been a serious hobby of mine. I was DJing on and off from high school. You know, every high school kid wants to get involved, have a little sound, whatever. And then when I went off to college in America, we kind of disbanded. And then I turned, you know, a promoter. And then now, you know, back in the saddle in entertainment, I was like, yo, let me try and do this again, because I really like it. And then I kind of took it a little bit more serious. And yeah, I'm a professional DJ now. I play all over the world. And,
oh, wow. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And as it relates to those fields, what have your accomplishments been so far? I know you said you DJ all over the world.
Yeah, I mean, what has been really, really a great honor was, you know, I've been named a couple of times over the years to entertainment advisory boards for the government.
Okay.
So.
And you currently do that?
Well, I'd start back in 2008. I was named as director of the Jamaica Information Service of the advisory board. And I was deputy chairman of the Agricultural Investment Corporation, AIC, through the Ministry of Agriculture. Then I was named to the Entertainment Advisory Board in, I believe, 2012, and named chairman of the Jamrock Summer Working Group, which is an entertainment tourism project.
Well, you know you're doing something right, eh?
Now, back on the Entertainment Advisory Board, I'm the entertainment person on the Tourism Linkages Council, chairman of the Entertainment Network in the Ministry of Tourism.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
I was getting confused just listening to the list.
As I say,
exciting,
it's an honor.
Absolutely.
To be, I mean, you know, you dedicate your life to an industry, and I guess that's the best way that people can say, okay, yeah, you're actually, you know, one of the leaders in the industry, so I'm honored.
How would you want to be remembered in this industry?
Every single thing that I try and put my mind to, everything that I'm involved in, I want to change it slightly, put my spin on it, and be innovative, and I guess be remembered for being an innovative person and somebody that changed the industry.
All right, Mr. Banky, well, what's next on our agenda for today?
So our tour continues, Candy. After having a refreshing drink, we're actually going to go now and play some sports.
Oh, God.
We'll see how fit and ready you are for summer.
Definitely going to embarrass me, but let's go.
Coming up.
Stay current and gain more information on the ever-evolving industry of real estate on Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
off the mark.
Are you warm now?
I'm ready. Let's go right now.
All right.
Oh! Finally.
But so far, so good with this resort. I'm very excited, though, about this food that's about to come.
Listen.
Very excited.
All right, I'm gonna tell you a little secret. You know, I said earlier, it's giving Scotches a run for its money. Arguably better.
What?
Yeah. It's not Portland authentic jerk,
Right.
but it's the closest thing. I mean, it's really
Well, I'm
good.
very excited to experience it.
And I mean, at a resort, at a hotel,
Yeah. Unheard of.
hats off to Sandals.
All right, Kamal, so I want to get into your childhood.
My childhood.
Yes. So let's talk about how you were raised, where you were raised, where you grew up. Do you have any siblings?
Before I was 10, I lived in Cayman Islands, Bahamas, United States, and Jamaica. Came to Jamaica when I was 6. And first school I went to, actually, most people don't know this, was Monique All Age in St. Anne. That was the first school I went to. Then I moved to Peter and Paul, undoubtedly the best prep school in the universe.
After Mono. Okay, sure.
We're not going to argue on camera, but we know the truth.
I think you know the
Fair
truth in your heart, so let's proceed.
Fair enough. And then I went to Campion for high school. That was my early...
Sorry to cut you, but the best school in Jamaica is a girls' school, so I don't expect you to have attended that one. But again, you may continue.
You mean Andrews?
Yes.
I was head boy of Andrews. Absolutely. I was a head boy
That's a
of
good way to
St.
put it.
Andrew High. I mean, I went to Campion, but I was the honorary head boy of St. Andrew High for girls. Spent some time there. And of course, you know, being myself, very interested in integration.
Right.
Yeah, secondary school integration. I was championing the movement for integration of all schools.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have one brother and one sister.
They're older or younger?
Both older.
Okay. So other than coming to Sandals to relax and take a vacation, what else do you like to do for fun?
So it's difficult for me to have fun a lot of the times when I'm, you know, hanging out in Jamaica because my business, my work is entertainment. I'm here, I'm always on. You know, I'm at Ribby's most nights, and that's work. So it's only when I actually get to like travel that I actually have fun.
Rest,
yes. Yeah, so I rest, I chill, whatever. So for me, travel is it. I'll pop up in a new country, you know, and I explore it, rent a car, drive all around, you know, and really try to see everything that a country has to offer. Go to good restaurants, bars, night spots. That's what I like to do.
Okay, and what would you say is next for Kamal Banky?
I'm going to be a lawyer. Just kidding.
I'm like, curveball.
No, I'm going to continue in entertainment, just trying to do bigger and better stuff, working on different aspects of entertainment. You know, along with my partners at Dream, we actually have some really cool stuff that we're working on right now. Hopefully we can announce it very soon.
Okay, great.
Look forward to bringing the best of entertainment to the world, and hopefully the world loves it.
Well, Kamal, thank you so much for taking us here to Sandals Grand Ocho Rios. I had a fabulous day learning to play chess, playing tennis, basketball. Oh! Yes! Woo! Woo! Everything was just perfect, so thank you so much for sharing your chess.
Thanks so much for coming, and we're happy to have you.
Well, I'm looking forward to relaxing for the rest of this day, so...
All good.
And that's it for this episode of Chill Spot, where we hung out with entertainment entrepreneur and so much more, Kamal Banke, right here at Sandals Ochi Beach Resort. Until next time, I'm Candy for Chill Spot. Bye. Is that a lizard on the course? If there's a lizard there, we are... No, it's a leaf. Just about to say, we're not going over there if there's a lizard. We are not going over there.
Hey everybody, my name is Kamal Banke and I am an
The whole purpose of putting him here was to kill you.
Because you don't understand how to play.
Yeah, but I didn't know he could only move in an L. I thought you were just saying like one of the main features of him is he can move in an L. This is stupid. I quit. What was that? They want to know advice on being a great host. And that's really easy. Like, be named Candy King. Here, Flip.
Violence is bad. Violence against our innocent little children is terrible. Pretending not to notice when we know or suspect that a child is suffering is awful and morally wrong. In the words of the great Nelson Mandela, there can be no keener realization of a nation's soul than the way in which it treats its children. Think about that for a second. I have a voice. It's one of my gifts. I intend to use it on behalf of our children. No more violence against our children. Make your move to stop violence against our children right now. No more. No more. No more.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Business Access
Access TV was on location at the Boulevard Supercenter for the opening of FGB's first bank agent in Jamaica. Here are the highlights.
This is the launch, the official launch of Jamaica's first agent banking facility in the entire country. Now, we all know that Grace Kennedy has continually been a household name, and more so, First Global Bank has become a household name since its inception in 2002. Now, I'm speaking from experience because I have all of 3 accounts with First Global, you know. Yes. And let me just tell you, one of the things that drew me to First Global was the fact that they were so customer friendly. So when I heard that First Global was actually coming to the community in a big way, I was elated. Because the thing I enjoy about First Global Bank is the access. When you talk about the access, we're talking about global access for one thing, but I also enjoy your app. And I'm able to use that anywhere I am in the world at whatever time. And I have my token, so I am guaranteed security as well. And then taking First Global to the community inside Boulevard, making it accessible to all the surrounding communities. This all-in-one, GK1, you are all-in-one financial connection with agent banking, making banking accessible to everyone around this community and within this community. This is a big deal. So we're going to invite all our members, including our chairman. Chairman, you can step forward first, sir. Lead the pack. Of course, Senator Don Webley following. The Honorable Nigel Clark, yes, of course, and our members are lovely females, yes. Senator Don Webby also is giving some support there, of course. That's a really big sisters do, mercy. We're gonna count 1, 2, 3, and we are officially open. We're going to be inviting Mr. Brissett and Tanya Brissett to lead us inside the establishment. I hear that you guys have one coming in my parish, Clarendon. So I'm very, very excited about that. And I know that because of the convenience of everything, the overhead costing is not so much. And so some of the services are actually free of cost, right?
All the services are free of cost.
All the services are free of cost.
Right.
So they're able to come and make their deposits and their withdrawals and the inquiries and such free of cost.
Sure.
Amazing. All right, so at this time, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be inviting Mariam McIntosh Robinson. I know this lady has much to say this morning.
We are proud to be a part of the Grace Kennedy Group, and we'll be expanding across Jamaica via our Grace Kennedy proprietary network, partnering with remittance business owners, Grace Kennedy Money Services, High-Low, etc. While FGB now has 12 locations, with one more opening this morning and another one to open on Friday in May Pen, our sister company, Grace Kennedy Money Services, has over 100 locations. So you can immediately see that this is a true growth opportunity for us as we expand nationally. This morning, though, we are pleased to partner with State Farm Services Limited to offer convenient, in-person banking to the community. So what can you do at an agent bank? Well, you can do most of the transactions that you would do at a traditional branch, namely withdrawals, deposits, payments to come soon, and you can check your balances. Our locations will open most days, including Saturdays, and we'll have extended hours from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. because we believe that we must continue as we expand to offer convenient banking. At our agent locations, which are banks in the various communities, we charge no fees. Let me share this again. At our agent locations, we charge no fees. And we plan to expand using this model, expecting to open up to 30 locations by the end of next year, and we're going to push to get 6 to 9 more out before the end of this year, depending on the pace of our regulator approval for each location. We also plan to introduce products, banking products, to the community based on needs, and we've already developed and launched 2 products. On the loan side, we've launched our payday loan product, which is an unsecured facility for up to 12 months. And on the savings side, we have our partner plan, which is like a partner plan, and we are, wait for it, literally the banker. With more to come, stay tuned to this space and watch First Global MoneyLink. Now, people may ask, why do we choose to open an agent banking location when so many folks are scaling back or going online? Well, we believe you need to do both. We do encourage persons to continue to use digital and online banking, where again, there are no fees, but we think there is something to having that in-person interaction when you're doing banking, and so we're pursuing this low-cost model to still go out into the community. In addition, First Global Bank, we support the national drive for financial inclusion, and that is a strategic and coordinated efforts to bring those who are not currently enjoying formal financial services like payments, savings, credit, pensions, insurance, etc., to bring them into the formal community so that all households and businesses, regardless of income level, can have access to and effectively use the appropriate financial services they need to improve their lives. Online banking, though, as I mentioned, is great. And our mobile banking app was the first one locally, another first, and is still one of the best in the market, I'm told. However, as I mentioned, the micro setups, such as this agent location, allows for the in-person convenient banking. And ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned before, both options are no fees.
Ladies and gentlemen, the GK board and the FGB board, we're very proud of the launch this morning. We are launching the first agent banking location in Jamaica. Can I repeat it and get a round of applause, please? We are launching the first agent banking location in Jamaica. As you would have seen from our recent first campaign, being first, and Mariam reminded me, so I'm just repeating what you said, Mariam, that First Global Bank is known for being first. A lot of consumers, a lot of Jamaicans, they don't know that First Global Bank, we have only been in existence for 16 years. And I think Mariam and Peter and the FGB team, we have certainly accomplished a lot in that short space of time. When we started the agency banking strategy in 2017, we recognized what we call, Minister, it was blue ocean territory. So we were very focused in terms of delivering products to the right people, the right products, and the right services, because we believe that Grace Kennedy is more than armed to do that. So agent banking is another innovation from the GK Group as part of our business mandate of actively participating and leading the financial inclusion drive as challenged by the government of Jamaica. Financial inclusion, as Mariam said, is about providing the right financial products and services to wider Jamaican consumers and businesses to facilitate their right to financial stability, growth, and protection. Colleagues, I want you to listen to these statistics because when you do your research and you actually look on them, it's quite alarming. Madam Debbie, do you know that 34% of the Jamaican population is unbanked? 34% is unbanked. Do you know that only 30% of Jamaicans save through a regulated financial institution? Do you know that only 11% of Jamaicans and 27% of SMEs access formal credit? And 80% of adult Jamaicans have limited access to low-cost, efficient, and user-friendly services. I make that point to say, and you said I am familiar with the gaps. That Minister, I believe that if we get agency banking right, it's a game changer in terms of growth for the Jamaican economy. And Grace Kennedy, we sincerely believe that. Our financial group, of which Grace Burnett is the CEO, I think we are perfectly placed to ensure that agency banking will be a success. Why? We have a number of well-known brands. We were talking about First Global Bank, GK Insurance, GK Money Services, Western Union, Bill Express, FX Trader, and our latest product, GK Proxim, which is microlending.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall.
Unsecured loans.
Alleged corruption. Follows the closure.
If they made this investment.
Brokers
strive to increase revenues.
He sought some answers.
Financial meltdown.
Here are the week's final numbers. Here's Guard. News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale, Saturdays and Sundays.
Let me just start by first congratulating First Global Bank on this very first agent bank in Jamaica. This is evidently a bank that is living up to its name, being first in the mobile app, now first in agent banking. But you understand how the name first, how they're living up to it. When you saw the CEO a while ago, go from 30 to 50 to 100. All right, you ever heard about 0 to 60 in 4 seconds? Well, this was like 0 to 100, right? And I have no doubt that that plays a crucial role in you living up to your name. But this is a historic occasion, one that I'm very happy to be associated with. And I can't help but notice that this is happening in the constituency that I happen to represent in Parliament. Now, they say there are no coincidences. I was elected in March. They look around and they say, pure road, them call it carpet. And now them look and them see money link. I mean, I gone clear. I mean, I am as clear. So you just continue, 30, 60, 100, full support. But the location of this bank will serve the communities of Pembroke Hall and Marvelly, Hughenden, Patrick City, Washington Gardens, Duhaney Park, and will also serve First Global customers that ordinarily would have gone to downtown or Ligony. So agent banking was introduced in legislation under the Banking Services Act in 2014, consistent with the aim of broadening the access points of delivery for financial services. And as you know, the government of Jamaica is focused on broadening financial access, deepening financial access, and ensuring that financial inclusion is entrenched in Jamaica. It was in 2016, in December 2016, that the agent bank regulations were introduced, and First Global Bank was the first to get their foot in the door, first to apply, and the first to open, and I believe they ought to be celebrated for that. This will allow for much broader coverage and improve access for customers, and will help us to diversify the base of persons who have access. The statistics quoted by Don Webby need no repetition, but clearly there are large segments of our population that are either not banked but are underbanked. And we know intuitively and intrinsically that the base of the pyramid in any economy, in any society, is integral to the economic vibrancy of that society, and therefore including them in the economy by allowing them to have access to regulated financial services that are competitively priced and that are efficiently located will only serve to the better of Jamaica. Now, we in the government of Jamaica, we have an interest in seeing the establishment of agency banks right across Jamaica, and believe, as your CEO believes, that it will continue to play a very important role in the growth and development of Jamaica. So I actually liked the acceleration 30, 50, 100, and I'm going to borrow it from now on. And I want to encourage you to go for it because that is definitely aligned with Jamaica's interests. Agent banking is also a win-win for many parties involved. I mean, in this case, you're actually housed in a Grace Kennedy facility, but in other cases, you may not be. And so agency banking is a win for the entity in which you are located because it brings more customers through the door, it diversifies their product base. It's a win for the financial institution because you have access to a broader base of customers yourself and because you provide efficient services for your existing customers. And it is a win for the customer as they have access to services at their fingertips, and clearly a win for the economy. So I see this as a multiple win process for all parties involved. So, ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, let me once again congratulate First Global Bank on establishing Jamaica's very first agent bank. And I want to take the opportunity to assure the entire financial sector of the government's determination to continue to support market development that can be the foundation for growth and development. And we'll continue to ensure that the financial sector operates efficiently, operates effectively, and is supported by a robust and responsive regulatory framework.
You are the first, a very historic opening, very historic launch, the first agent banking facility in the entire country. You know, Patrick, big deal business, right? How are you feeling this morning? I know that you must have some remarks, you must have some words. Please share how you're feeling with us.
Extremely well. First of all, I'd like to thank the Grace Kennedy Group for affording State Farm Services the opportunity to be in your annals. Later on, I'm sure you'll recognize that State Farm Services is here to build the Grace Kennedy products. This is how we feel. I'd like to say thank you to the staff of Boulevard Service Center. If they were not giving service, I don't think Grace Kennedy would have chosen us. I'd like to say to you all, thanks again. Thanks.
All right. Hopefully everybody's hands can be there. If not, we could just reach forward. There we go. I will cut the cake after 3. 1, 2, 3. Round of applause. Amazing. Congratulations to the entire team. Well done. We have our first agent banking facility.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life. Highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost
to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Just share with us your sentiments about today.
I think this is a historic occasion, not only for Grace Kennedy and for First Global Bank, but for Jamaica. This is the first agency bank to be operational in Jamaica. The regulations for agency banks came in December 2016 and are consistent with the focus of the governments of Jamaica on broadening financial access and deepening financial inclusion. And we hope to see many more of these agency banks across Jamaica bring in financial services within the reach of tens or hundreds of thousands more Jamaicans.
How important is it in bringing Jamaicans into our regulated banking network?
No, it is crucially important. When Jamaicans have access to banking products, it means that they can be more efficient in their own transactions, and it can allow them to pursue their own sort of economic goals and pursue their own dreams. And the more persons who have access to this means that the society is better off. The more formal saving that we have, the more that money is kept within financial institutions as opposed to kept in other forms, the stronger the economy of Jamaica will be. And there's a benefit for the customer as well. Their money will be safer, and not only safer, but they will have access to a range of services that they wouldn't otherwise have access to.
So we know that there are limitations to agent banking, you know, as in depositing $50,000 and withdrawing $50,000. Are there any plans to further develop on that?
Yeah, so agency banking comes with less restrictions than normal banking. And in return for that, there are certain things about it that might be different from normal banking. And one of the things that's different is the amount that you can lodge or withdraw in any one transaction. When the regulations were passed in December 2016, there was an agreement that would be reviewed on a periodic basis, and I believe the time for review might be soon. So we'll see how some of those limits can change over time.
So congratulations again on opening the first agent bank. How does it benefit the country and Grace Kennedy's strategy of financial inclusion?
Yeah, well, so as I said in my presentation, based on all the studies that I've seen, anywhere between 30 and 40% of Jamaicans are unbanked. So basically what agency banking does, it opens a platform to be inclusive of all Jamaicans so they can now work in terms of their financial planning and financial transactions in a regulated environment. As someone said, when you're building a pyramid, the foundation is the most important. And we believe that that 30%, 34% that I spoke about is the foundation of the Jamaican economy. By the end of 2019, we want to have 30 locations in place. And I have set my team a very aggressive goal. Well, I tell you something, and it's going to be very simple, and you're going to hear me saying it over and over, but this is the first media house that I'll say it. So in 2022, Grace Kennedy is going to be 100 years old. We were born on February 14, 1922. And I've said to my team, by 2022, for our 100th anniversary, I want 100 locations. So the timeline is very clear.
Talk to us about some of the products and services offered by agent banking services.
Oh, thanks for having me. For this historic moment, we have introduced two products to our customers. One is our partner plan, which everyone is familiar with. And of course, we have a payday loan specially designed for these agent locations that we are launching. We find that customers are very familiar with these two names, and of course, we have designed creatively two products that will nicely serve them. The agent banking location is a unique opportunity for First Global Bank to expand its network. We are using and launching today at Boulevard Supercenter, our first agent location, and we are pleased to facilitate our customers with their regular deposits and withdrawals, and based on the demonstration earlier today, it works. The great thing about it is that our customers can, instead of incurring the cost of traveling to other locations, particularly those in this community and the other communities that we'll be pushing into are able to just, walk up to the location, execute their transaction, and, they're good to go.
So congratulations again on opening your first agent banking. I know that financial inclusion is a big thing for FGB. Talk to us about your strategies for that.
Okay. So first of all, we believe in financial inclusion, and we're glad that and very supportive of the national financial inclusion strategy that the government has set. So the way we think about financial inclusion is allowing persons of all walks of life, so both persons and businesses, regardless of income level, to have access to the formal financial system. And what does that mean? Informal financial products such as payments, savings, credit, pension, insurance. Everyone should have access to that. And so what we've done is we've created a set of offerings to allow persons to come into the network so that they can use these products to improve their lives. And our platform offering is what we call agency banking. So this is where we go into the communities where customers are or consumers are, and we partner with businesses already in the communities that will offer banking services on our behalf. So that's what we call like third-party banking, and that is what's known as agent banking. And so it's exciting because you can expand in this way in a low-cost kind of fashion, but people still value that in-person interaction. There's still value in breaking down and demystifying how to engage with the financial system. And what's nice about these agent locations is that there are little to no fees. So just like going online and doing online banking, which we at First Global Bank encourage as well, we also value the convenient in-person banking, and so we're using this model to expand nationally. So we're going to have 30 agents by the end of next year. I'm told that there's some number of 100 hovering out there somewhere over the next 4 years. But we really see this as a way to expand into the communities across Jamaica and get so many of the under and unbanked persons to come into our system, to demystify the system, and to do it at low cost because there are no fees.
So I know that right about now it's 9 that you're working on. So are there places or specific places that you're really targeting right about now?
Yeah, man. So this is our first location, Boulevard Supercenter with State Farm Services Limited. Interestingly enough, we're opening Maypen later this week on Friday, but that's going to be a mini branch. And at the mini branches, you can actually open accounts. At agent locations, you don't open the account on site. We'll collect the paperwork, but we'll go back to a branch as part of our hub and spoke model to open the account. Once you have an account with us, and then you can use the agents to transact. But we're looking at St. Thomas, so we have Morant Bay coming up. We're looking downtown, King Street. We're looking in the St. Anne parish. We're doing another in St. Mary. So we're actually going into every parish in Jamaica and expecting to go further into the parish over the course of this year and into next year, across the parishes, I should say. But again, all these agencies that are spread out across Jamaica, you could almost think of them as ATMs, right? Sort of an ATM. But they're all tied back to what the traditional branches that exist for First Global Bank. What we like about these agent locations is that you can do withdrawals, you can do deposits, you can make payments on credit cards and loans, and that's to come for us, and you can check your balances. So it's a great way to do business that you would have already been doing, like remittance, collecting your remittance, or if you're in high-low, you're doing supermarket shopping, or anyone, we really can partner with anyone. We're focused on our Grace Kennedy proprietary network because it's so powerful and so extensive. But we actually like the fact that you could be coming to do something else, and then, oh, by the way, you do a little banking on the side. Because we know that when people go to do banking, we know that unlike buying a shoe or going to the hairdresser, when you finish that shopping experience, you feel good. We know banking, it's a little harder to feel great at the end. So we want to make it as convenient and as clear for persons engaging with us.
That's it from us here. Until next time, thanks for tuning in to Business Access TV, serious about business.
As the artist works, I can only imagine putting icing on a cake. He holds a cone made of plastic, like a pencil filled with paste, and grasps it with artistic perfection. He squeezes the end gently. Each meticulous stroke releases the pastes and intricate designs are drawn. What's inside the cone? Today we find out here on The Good Life. We visit Henna Threads to speak to Mark Samuels about henna, the process, and its significance. So tell us about Henna Threads. Why did you decide to take henna and turn it into a business?
It was really a labor of love. I started with a love of Indian culture. As before, I learned that henna wasn't something specific to India. But I still love Indian culture, just generally. Right. Even the movies, Bollywood and such. And I met someone who had a similar passion as myself, and I started doing henna as a tribute to the friendship, and it eventually just blossomed into a business. It wasn't meant to be a money-making thing. I didn't even think that it would take over my whole life in a sense, but that's what happened eventually, and I'm sticking with it so far. It's been 6 years.
Before we go any further, let's find out the mystery behind making a good henna paste.
Henna is a plant. The leaves of the plant are dried, and there's a natural red dye that the plant has flowing through it. And when you dry the leaves, you crush them up and ground them into a powder, and then eventually persons like myself or other henna artists will use that powder, mix it with other ingredients, and make a paste from it. It's applied topically, and then the dye is absorbed through the skin, through the pores, and eventually you get the henna stain. Since it's used as a hair dye, a natural hair dye, so you avoid all of those chemical products that are on the market, which I suppose are fine, right. But if someone wants something alternative and more natural or rootsy, they would opt for henna instead. Henna is also a natural sunblock. Henna helps to regulate the temperature in the body. If you're in a very hot area and you want to remain cool, if you apply the henna paste, it will cool you down. If you're in a very cold area and you want to keep warm or toasty, you can apply the henna paste. It does the exact same thing. Okay. There are some persons who will apply it to areas that have been infected. There are those effects of it as well. Anybody who's interested in that can research that aspect of it. I'm more about the adornment of persons with the henna.
In regards to adornment, what are some occasions that people would get henna done for?
Some persons say that henna is a Hindu thing or ritualistic. Mm-hmm. That's similar to people saying that we practice Jankuna as a religion here in Jamaica, but it's not religious, it's cultural, right? Yeah. And henna is cultural in that same sense. Okay. Some of the practices or traditions around henna in marriage are that you would hide the groom's name somewhere in the patterns on the bride's hands. Okay. And they would make a game of it, so he'd have to try to find his name hidden in the pattern. Mm-hmm. One of the other things is people say the brighter the henna is, or the longer it lasts, the more prosperous the marriage will be, or the better the relationship will be with the bride and the mother-in-law. Mm-hmm. Another one of the things is that brides tend not to do any housework at all until all of their henna fades from the time that it was applied for their marriage. Okay. Those are some of the traditions that's associated with the bridal aspect of henna. So people get henna if they're going to a party, if they're going to a wedding or getting married, or any rite of passage, if you're celebrating a graduation, if you're celebrating a cultural event like World Hindi Day. This is for persons who are from India, for instance. If it's your birthday, any kind of celebratory event, it doesn't matter what the event is. Henna, people get henna for those occasions. But also, persons get henna just because they feel like it, If they want to feel good about themselves, or if they want to. I've been told many times that it's very therapeutic, so persons who will just come here and get henna done just for the therapy aspect of it. I don't advertise that, but that's what I've been told by persons who come to me.
It's not surprising that the hands and feet are popular places to put henna to show off the design. But Mark adds that there are additional reasons for choosing these areas.
A lot of people, as traditionally, they get it done on their hands, but henna can be done anywhere. A lot of persons get it done on their feet or off the shoulder, you know, depending on if they want to go out and they're wearing a certain kind of top. If they're wearing something backless, they'll get it done on their back. Typically, I don't practice doing it on the face. There are some persons who do, but you know, the face has skin that's more sensitive than other areas. So generally, I don't do that kind of thing. Persons have asked me and I've said no to them directly. But it can be applied on the face. Some persons use it as a more permanent kind of
like eyebrow tint?
Yeah, like an eyebrow tint. So it's semi-permanent in that sense.
So you mentioned earlier that hands and feet tend to be done a lot. Are there any significant reasons for that?
Hands and feet tend to stain better than other areas, typically. Because, I mean, I guess the way that we've evolved, our extremities have thicker skin. So these areas, and like the heel or the sole of the foot, those areas tend to stain really, really, really dark. And persons gravitate more towards a darker stain, so they gravitate to those areas as well. Henna will stain you anywhere on the body, but the intensity of the stain differs from place to place. On the shoulder, it might be somewhat pale, still very visible, but like as you go up towards the neck, it becomes less and less. We have thinner skin going this way for whatever reason. As you move towards the torso, it becomes fainter, and as you go upward towards the neck, it becomes even fainter. So persons will stick with hands and feet because they'll get that very rich stain.
Talk to us about the advantages of henna. We know it's semi-permanent. Some people don't necessarily want to go and get tattoos done. What would be some advantages of using henna as opposed to something else?
Well, the fact that it's temporary is definitely an advantage in itself, because some persons don't want to commit to something that's permanent, or some persons are fickle and they change their mind very quickly, you know, so they don't want to have something that they're going to get tired of, bored of, or regret. So that's one of the definite advantages to using henna. Another thing is that for persons who are more conservative, you know that it's not going into your blood. When you get a tattoo done, the needle invades a certain amount of layers of skin, and that's what makes it permanent. Henna doesn't invade all of those layers. Henna only invades through the pores the layers of skin that exfoliate. And generally, your skin exfoliates over the period of a week, and so that's how long the henna lasts. It's not that the henna itself goes away, it's that the skin that it's attached to goes away.
Don't go anywhere. When we return to The Good Life, I'll be getting my own henna design. Stay with us.
As the end of the year draws nigh and the celebrations begin, let us add some magic to the festivities with our BATV Christmas mix. Why settle for blah when you can have fa la 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 la? 60 advertising spots, 10 fraud spots. This $1.6 million package is all yours for only $45,000. Don't wait. Contact our sales team today and take advantage of this incredible offer. Our gift to you, BATV Christmas Mix. Offer valid until December 31, 2018.
Caring Hands Season 3 continues to effect change in a changing environment.
Many of us were raised by grandmothers, right? So, I mean, we know the wisdom that these people have.
Going beyond business.
The little leaders of today are our leaders of tomorrow. And with the proper education, we'll have very good leadership coming from that.
That's Season 3 of Caring Hands, creating change and shaping lives, every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Go for God Family Church.
Today's message is for those of you who thought that Jesus was finished.
Inspiring messages.
I'm here to tell you today that you are excellent. God is excellent.
Empowerment from biblical motivation.
To be glorified means to endow with authority. A woman is a powerful, creative being.
Join Pastor Christopher Morgan and the Go for God team as we go for God.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall.
Unsecured loans.
Alleged corruption.
Follows the closure. If they made this investment.
Brokers
strive to increase revenues.
He sought some answers.
Financial meltdown.
Here are the week's final numbers. Here's Garth. News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale. Saturdays and Sundays.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
Welcome to the Good Life Need to Know segment. Natural henna will never dye your skin, purple, pink, blue, or black. Henna was used by the pharaohs to stain their fingers and toes. The medicinal value of henna includes relief of fever, headache, and improving blood circulation.
In this cone, I have the dried henna leaves, tea tree oil, lavender essential oil, lemon juice, and brown sugar. Everything in here is all natural, right? But that doesn't mean that someone can't be allergic to any of those ingredients.
I think there's a common misconception that natural ingredients
cannot produce an allergy. That's right. There are persons that are allergic to grass and dirt and different gas, anything.
And shellfish.
And shellfish. Typically, if you have one of those kind of allergies, like if you're allergic to grass, for instance, there's a chance that you might be allergic to henna. But if you don't have allergies usually, there's a 1 in 5,000 chance that you'd be allergic to henna. It's the same kind of chance that you'd be allergic to anything else. There's nothing specific about henna that will produce an allergic reaction in a person. But if you're an expecting mother, I would need to know that prior to you getting henna done, because tea tree oil has a particularly high level of camphor. And so if you're an expecting mother, I would mix the henna only with lavender essential oil, since it has a very low level of camphor.
Talk to us about the mixture itself in regards to the lavender oil and the other thing they made it so we can't remember.
Henna, like I said before, is a dye. Even though it's a natural dye, like every other dye, it needs something to activate it. If you've picked up fabric dye at the store before, you might read on the package that you need to put it in warm salt water, for instance. So salt would be the activator in that case. For henna, the activator is usually something that is sour, like lime or lemon or vinegar.
Okay, so there's an acidic element to that.
That's correct.
Okay.
I mix mine with lemon juice. I don't buy the lemon juice from the store. You can buy the lemon juice from the store. I'm not knocking the lemon juice from the store. But if I want to be able to tell somebody all the ingredients of my henna, I can't tell them what those preservatives are. I don't know. So I squeeze the lemon myself. So the lemon juice in my henna would be the activator. That's the first activator. The second activator is the tea tree oil. In the henna community, we refer to that as terpene, because some essential oils have a chemical known as terpenol in there, and it reacts with the lawsone, which is the dye in the henna, to produce a darker stain. So those two things are usually essential when you're making henna paste. You want an essential oil that has that element present in it, and you want something sour. So some of the essential oils that I will stick to are cajeput, lavender, and tea tree oil. Otherwise, there are some essential oils that people will put in there, and they think that it will produce a darker stain, but it won't. Like people will use eucalyptus. You can think of something that smells nice. There are many oils on the market. Not all of them will produce the desired effect. If you don't know the background about henna, then you'll throw anything in there.
Right.
It might work, but chances are it won't. The sugar causes it to stick to the skin, but it also causes the henna to stay sticky for a longer period of time. If you don't put sugar in your henna paste, chances are not only will it fall off, but it will dry very, very quickly. And the wetter your henna paste is, the greater the chance for the dye to seep into your pores.
Okay.
So you want to have sugar in there, and you want to have a certain amount of sugar in there. Too much sugar will mean that your paste will probably never ever dry, because it will be constantly absorbing moisture from your skin and from the atmosphere.
Okay.
Too little sugar, then your paste will fall off prematurely, which isn't something necessarily bad, but if you really want the best kind of henna stain, you'll want the paste to stay on for as long as possible.
Okay. I know you guys are dying to see Mark transform my hand. So we're gonna get started. So Mark, make it pretty.
All right, this cone is all warm now. It's no longer frozen.
Okay.
So I'll take you through the preparation of the client, and I just need to cut here, make a little snip. I should tell you, some persons roll their cones around a pin.
Okay.
I prefer not to do that because I find that the pin, the metal from the pin, or metal in general actually, oxidizes the henna at a very fast rate.
Okay.
So I would have to squeeze out all of that oxidized paste, and I think that's a waste.
Yeah.
So I roll mine to a fine point where it can't come out, and then I cut it.
Okay.
Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I am right-handed.
I would advise that you do it on your left hand because you're going to want to do everything with your right hand, and instructions that follow me doing the application will require you to have a hand that's inactive for a period of time.
How long is this period of time? Because I'm trying to cook something.
Well, you have to keep the paste on your hand for 6 hours, and then you remove the paste, and you can't get that area wet for an additional 24 hours. That's not 24 hours from the time that I applied.
Yeah.
That's 24 hours from the time that you remove the paste. So 6 plus 24, 30 hours in total.
So in a case where I want to go and cook dinner, how does that work for me? I have to put my hand in a plastic bag? Like,
well, once you've removed the paste, you can cook your dinner. It shouldn't be a problem, but you can't get your hand wet. So you could work in gloves. You could work in kitchen gloves if you wanted to. Or, you know, those latex gloves that you can buy wherever. You just wipe the person's skin with alcohol. It's to remove excess dirt or oils from the skin.
Okay.
Another thing, persons, especially here in Jamaica, typically put lotion on their hands. Kind of, you don't want to go on the road, right?
Ashy.
So I've been told, ashy. So you use the alcohol to remove any of that. It's important for the client to know what is going on their skin. If a henna artist cannot tell you the ingredients that are in their henna paste, and I don't just mean randomly spout some ingredients, I mean the ingredients that are in their particular henna paste that they're applying to the person's skin, then the client should not approach that person to have their henna done by them.
Okay.
Generally, I would prefer to say that the person who's applying the henna should make the paste themselves.
Right.
Otherwise, buy from a reputable paste distributor, because there are two kinds of henna paste that are sold on the market. There's commercially, people sell henna paste, right?
Okay.
There is one that contains a chemical called paraphenamine diamine. For short, it's called PPD. It's really the same chemical that's found in black hair dye.
Okay.
It is not to be used on the skin. It is extremely toxic, and it will produce very horrible looking allergic reactions. Because of the amount of sugar that I put in the paste, you will have to remove the paste on your own.
Okay.
However, there are some parts that will fall off, that typically fall off. Jointed areas like the wrist or the knuckle along the fingers. Those areas will fall off on their own because those areas are in constant use. If you keep your hand completely still, you probably don't realize that you're actually moving it a little bit, and it will break the paste apart and it will typically fall off on its own. Otherwise, the skin, the paste will stick to the skin, and you might actually find it a little bit difficult to remove in some areas, especially if you have hair. If you have a lot of hair growing in those areas, then the paste will stick to it a lot. I will be a little slower in the application if there is hair in the way. And in terms of removing it, if you're a hairy person, what you can do, you can just apply some coconut oil to the area and have it sit for about half an hour, and then you can actually wipe it off with ease after that.
Okay.
With artwork as delicate as this, all I could think about is how to prevent it from being smudged. When we come back, we talk about aftercare and prices so you can get your own henna done. Stay tuned.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point with Kalila Reynolds and Dennis Chung. Dissecting the issues, offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Having a corporate event, seminar, awards show, conference, product launch, workshop or expo? Business Access TV is here to showcase your event. Contact our sales department at 908-0919, 906-6357, or 908-2775 for more information. Business Access TV, serious about business.
We have grown from 20 million US to now having 800 million US dollars.
Knowledge, skill, and professionalism. Those are my tools and my armor.
It's a big men don't cry, right? It's a big men don't cry, right?
We were being robbed some $531,000.
I've been angry to the point where I feel like I would kill people.
We're taking you beyond our shores, across the region and around the world. Every week, BATV gives you in-depth reporting on the major stories that gripped headlines in the Caribbean and on the international scene. Join us Sundays for This Week Abroad. Business Access TV, serious about business at home and abroad.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
We've completed the design. Talk to me about the cost for this one.
Okay, something like this would probably be around the $2,000 price range.
Okay.
But designs for me start at $1,000. It would maybe be like, maybe a design for $1,000 would extend the same kind of surface area, but not necessarily the same level of detail.
Okay.
So it starts at $1,000 and it goes up based on how much coverage the person wants. But that doesn't mean that if you got 4 times this size that you'll be paying $8,000 necessarily, because the more you do, the more inclined I'll be to take off some of the cost if you're doing a lot, you know. Yeah. And furthermore, in regards to cost, I have to take into consideration that I'm taking out the time to make sure I have a quality product. I make it myself. I don't buy the cheap stuff because, like I said, the other stuff, it is relatively cheap. But the effect is cheap as well. So I'm providing a quality service. I make all of it. I do everything myself. I make my instrument myself. I make the paste myself, and I import necessary ingredients that can't be sourced in Jamaica.
Right.
And I absorb all of those costs. So, and those costs need to be reflected in what I charge my client as well.
Post-care, what are some things that I need to keep in mind, or what should I be doing?
Okay. You definitely should not be flexing your wrist a lot.
Okay.
Since it's on the wrist area for 2 reasons. One, I told you that it is prone to fall off of joints.
Okay.
But another reason is while it is still wet, you might smudge some of the details. They might get squashed together if you are flexing details into each other.
Okay.
So that's one thing. You have to leave the paste on for a minimum of 6 hours, like I said before.
Okay.
Once you remove it, there will be a very pale orange stain. After, that stain will oxidize for a 24-hour period and become a dark red stain. If you get the area wet during the oxidization process, it will not get to its peak color. So that part of the process is probably more important than leaving it on for a full 6 hours. If you can't manage to leave it on for a full 6 hours, at least make sure that the stain oxidizes for 24 hours.
What advice would you give to anyone wanting to get some henna work done? Advice in terms of just general guidelines and things they should look out for.
Well, they shouldn't. Well, I would prefer if they didn't come with lotion on the area. Obviously, it's a good idea to have a bath before you come, and it's not that you shouldn't bathe after you leave. You should definitely bathe, but you can't get the area wet. So if you can bathe around it, that would be great.
Okay.
Take into consideration that you might want to do it on a day that you don't have a lot of stuff to do, or if you just took vacation. If you work at a bank, you might want to get it in an area that's not going to be seen readily.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you for having me, Amita.
And thanks for having us. So for those people who do want to get work done, they can come and check out Mark right here at Henna Threads.
Right, and they can contact me via WhatsApp, preferably. It's unlikely that they'll get me if they try me by phone. I will answer my phone, but it's a little bit hard at times when I'm dealing with one client to answer the phone for another client. So usually if they WhatsApp me, they'll get a faster response.
What's the number?
291-3435.
All right, great. And there you have it, guys. Another episode of The Good Life. Come and get some henna work done. It's semi-permanent, you know, no issues as long as you're not allergic to any of the ingredients, right?
Well, typically you wouldn't be.
Alrighty then. And I've been your host, Amita Prasadweb. Until next time, live good.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
Aesthetics can be traced back as early as Greek and Egyptian times, when they used cosmetics for personal beautification, tattooing, and even for preparing the dead for burial. As such, the emergence of medical aesthetics has swept the beauty industry by storm and has become a real revenue generator for medical or clinical aestheticians, as the terms are often used interchangeably. Being an esthetician today goes much deeper than centuries ago, when the Greeks and Egyptians would bathe in olive oil to soften the skin. Today, it requires deeper knowledge in taking on the task of beautifying the self. So, we had a chat with an esthetician plus an educator to gain further insight on this episode of Career Moves.
Hi, my name is Michelle Vernon. I'm a licensed esthetician and the owner of Body Studio Skincare. An esthetician is someone that specializes in beauty and enhancement of it. We use medical devices, non-surgical, to enhance treatments of the skin and the body. Right now in Jamaica, this field is very limited, so they work in spas, and basically hotel industries don't offer medical services right now. Most spas that we know in Jamaica are more conventional, with massages and holistic approaches and relaxation. As a medical spa, you're not really relaxing per se, you're more doing treatments to enhance and invigorate and promote one's youth. So basically, you would work in an image center. That's what I like to call it. It wouldn't be a spa per se, because we're not really relaxing, we're rejuvenating.
When getting into the field, one needs to have an appreciation for it, as estheticians are making a positive difference in the lives of patients they see.
Well, you just have to love that field. It's something that has to be within you. You can't grow into it, because beauty is something that you just have to possess internally, have a like for it, understand people's goals, reasons why they would want to change something, not be judgmental with that, and you absolutely have to stay current in the trends. The natural reason is to be in the beauty field and to love what you do. And another reason is to promote some form of value in the services that you have. It's not only cosmetic, but you're really enhancing a person physically, yes, and you can change them in so many ways. Confidence-wise, absolutely.
But what passion might have led Michelle to choosing this career path?
Well, as a child, I was always playing in my mother's closet. I love beauty, I love everything about it. I used to read a lot of these magazines and trying to, you know, aspire to be like the people I see in the magazines. And then growing up now, people always ask me about what I use on my skin, where I go and get this done. And that led me to now pursue a career in it myself. I started applying my knowledge at home, but I wasn't certified. I used to always do my own little home remedies and practice at home, not professionally, just on myself. I'm my first client. Everything that I have offered to the public is something that I've tried and tested and done on myself. And then I decided to go to school for it. And then after I went to school for it, I worked as a private esthetician for celebrities in New York. I got my license in New York, and I know for New York you have to be over 18. And you do have to take a medical test in New York to just make sure you're healthy and don't have any serious, transferable diseases. After that, you would take a entrance test to get into the school, just to make sure you have good, it would be like a GED level, education standard wise. And then after you qualified with the entrance test, then you start a course. You can always enhance your course. For aesthetics, for skincare, it's 6 months. But if you want to get into a medical esthetician, you have to go and get laser certified ultrasound cavitation certified, microdermabrasion certified, and every certificate is at least another 3 months. So hence, that took me 2 years. I got training in Atelier Esthétique. And with that training, I had to do an entrance test in biology just to make sure I was qualified to do a basic skincare field. And then I took 6 months just to learn how to do facials. And then after that, I took another 1 year and 6 months to do all the certifications for laser hair removals, ultrasound cavitation, microdermabrasion, chemical peels. You have to get certified for all these medical treatments.
Michelle has been working in aesthetics for over 5 years in New York, but decided to return to Jamaica and is now operating 2 businesses, one in Kingston and the other in Montego Bay.
I've been in the industry for over 6 years. I practiced mainly in New York, but then I recently opened a branch in Kingston in December 2015, so that would make me 7 months in Jamaica. Our Montego Bay branch has been open since June 1st, 2016. We have been creating quite a buzz because it seems like we're the only one available here that provides these kind of treatments. It's going really good.
We also learned of some of the services she offers.
Starting with the face, we do a lot of corrective treatments for acne and for hyperpigmentation. Of course, we have our standard facials that are, relaxing and also rejuvenating, but majority of our facials are corrective. So anti-aging, hyperpigmentation, and acne tends to be the main facials that we do. And for body treatments, we do breast enhancements, we do non-surgical slimming, and slimming can be done anywhere on the arms, the tummy, on the legs. Even one person wants to do the calf. So basically anywhere you have fat that you want to diminish non-surgically, we can do that there. We do skin tightening, skin lightening, pretty much a lot of things can go on.
Additionally, she took us through her day-to-day operations.
Typically, the day starts with doing consultations. We'll do a lot of consultations just to guide people on what they need to do and even recommend them to other categories of skincare such as dermatology and even dietitians, because sometimes most of the problems that they have are internal and need a doctor to clarify that. Then after we do the consultation, we can best advise them to what treatment we recommend for them. And after we advise them of what treatment, we can tell them if it's a series or if a one-time treatment. Most treatments take a series, especially for corrections.
Ultimately, as a clinical esthetician, you're really about the care of the health and welfare of your client, as well as beautifying their appearance.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Well, it works at first when it's just done, maybe the first year or two, but after that, it's a big failure. I don't see why they do it. They should quit doing it and appreciate themselves and love themselves.
Looks good now, but after there's an effect, don't it? Supposed to, because it's not natural. These are more natural.
No. And sometimes it does, but I don't believe in it, no.
Personally, I wouldn't do it, but if it makes the person feel better about themselves, it's up to them, but I wouldn't do that because I don't think it's healthy for you.
For me, I'm comfortable with whatever ladies want to do with themselves. They're ladies, nevertheless. I mean, they're beautiful, whichever way they are. I mean, ladies, wherever you see me, you have those butt implants, those breast implants. Just say, hey, I have them. All right, get me.
Hi, I am Marie Hall Smith, beauty therapist, educator, and executive director of the Faceplace Institute of Aesthetics and the Faceplace Salon.
Requirements to become an esthetician may vary by state, but there are some basic aesthetic courses across the border exploring the science, anatomy, and physiology of the skin.
Prerequisites in becoming a medical esthetician would be having an underpinning in traditional spa aesthetics, because it incorporates and involves the understanding of the skin, the histology of the skin, Fitzpatrick skin scaling, which is a way in which you understand the skin's ethnicities and the diversity in ethnicity, especially in our environment and our hemisphere, what's experienced with the different cultures. So we have to have a fundamental understanding as such in skin types and the skin. Also bloodborne pathogens, so there's a lot of underpinning knowledge that you have to have going in, and one of the primary ones is being licensed already as a spa esthetician. The training involves a little higher level training, which includes the use of certain machines, technology, as well as chemical peels that are of a clinical grade but for use by estheticians. Also, we also include some work that you can do along with a medical professional, such as a dermatologist or plastic surgeon. The training here in clinical aesthetics lasts for 4 weeks.
Marie notes that in this field, the use of technology is a necessity.
Technology has become infused into the practice of aesthetics, and as such, being able to understand the use of these machines and as well as the benefits that they give, because ultimately as a clinical esthetician, you're really about the care of the health and welfare of your client as well as beautifying their appearance. The qualification after completing the program for 4 weeks is a certificate in the practice of clinical aesthetics, and as such you would be able to do microdermabrasion, skin tag removal, LED or phototherapy treatments, and these are all non-invasive beauty therapy treatments that usually sometimes can be done on their own, depending on the setting or environment, or under supervision by a dermatologist, a plastic surgeon. So you're really prepared to work in a clinical environment doing non-invasive beauty therapy treatments.
If you're interested in getting trained in aesthetics, the Heart Trust Institution is another option.
I know that Heart offers training in beauty therapy services, which are, a fundamental and an underpinning, just like the Faceplace. We are an independent accredited training organization that offers beauty therapy up to level 3. And then of course, we go on into the clinical programs because of what has been requested by, our past students. It is something that I am not aware of how many people and the scope of which and how they do their training, if anybody does offer clinical training locally, but I know that clinical training is offered here by us to people who possess the relative underpinning to go into that program. And we also usually require 1 year practicum experience. This is not work experience, this is actually 1 year working in the field of traditional spa aesthetics before you can go into or be accepted into the program.
Both Marie and Michelle believe that persons in this field are making a great mark in our society.
They fulfill a great purpose because remember, everybody wants to look better, everybody wants to feel better, and there is a therapeutic side to clinical aesthetics, and that is the most important part, because as estheticians we really are focused solely on the health, care and well-being, of course, and enhancing the skin, enhancing the entire body, and to ensure that your client feels good. And so that's why with clinical aesthetics there is a relevance, because everybody is doing things, non-invasive things through technology. We have the ability now to do non-invasive things to enhance our body's appearance, our skin's appearance. I mean, no longer are people going under the knife for surgery, for tightening their skin, because there are collagen and elastin treatments that can be done. There's several treatments that can be done on this face to enhance and make the skin look more youthful with the use of the technology. So medical aesthetics or clinical aesthetics bridges this gap between traditional spa aesthetics and the non-invasive treatments that are offered through technology and the advancement of technology as such.
We all know that physical appearance does drastically affect one's confidence, and most of these treatments we are altering, not really altering how one would look, but definitely how one would feel after the treatment. So you're definitely giving someone new value to themselves, new confidence, and just giving them a new outlook in life. So you're definitely helping the society in that regard.
With the looks of things and the growing demand for the services, it's believed there will be more jobs for aestheticians.
It's a growing industry, it's a growing profession, and there are so many places where clinical aestheticians can work. You can work in a dermatologist's office, you can work in a small studio, you can work in a spa. Right now, I think most clinical aestheticians that work locally or in our environment now work in a spa or type of personalized studio where they've had the training and then they incorporate it with the use of technology to offer these, non-invasive treatments for the enhancement of their clients.
I believe this will be a growing field because skincare is something that is inevitable. We all have skin and we all have some skin-related issues. Unfortunately, in Jamaica, this is not something that is popular as yet because it seemed unattainable and superficial. But with growing technology and social media and all these awareness of what one can get, yes, it will be a growing field.
Beauty is big business, and aestheticians make their money keeping clients gorgeous. So both Marie and Michelle note that there is job security within the field.
There definitely is because, once you're knowledgeable and have a thorough understanding of what you're doing, you will be sought after.
Within the medical aesthetics, it's a growing field. So in the future, I can see there will be a lot of jobs in it. There is absolutely a high demand for the services. I would say we have more clients than we have skilled professionals.
This is Weekend Business Report. Economic windfall,
unsecured loans,
alleged corruption,
follows the closure.
If they made this investment,
brokers
strive to increase revenues.
He sought some answers.
Financial meltdown.
Here are the week's final numbers. Here's Garth, News Roundup.
Camille, it's back to you.
That's Weekend Business Report with me, Keneal Gale, Saturdays and Sundays.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
An aesthetician must know how to properly evaluate clients' skin and then select the proper products, and so we hear of some key skills required.
Being in the skincare field, one has to possess knowledge of products. You have to have vast product knowledge, and on top of that, you have to know different skin types, contraindications. You have to be very market aware, just so you can give the best advice for clients.
One of the key skills is the underpinning, and that is you have to have a certain level of care and incorporate what exactly your clients need and what really is best for them based on their skin type and situation. And when in doubt, refer to a higher order professional. And that's why medical or clinical aestheticians work alongside with dermatologists and plastic surgeons, because that decision is not solely yours. It's a team that makes the decision on what is best for your client in terms of enhancing their looks in a non-invasive way.
Looking and feeling beautiful boosts anyone's confidence, and so the services are said to be in high demand.
It is fully utilized. I mean, we here at the Face Place Salon, we've been practicing medical aesthetics since, the late 90s. We've always been, in the fore in terms of on the skin, because remember, traditionally, we are estheticians, we're spa estheticians. So our focus is really on the skin. So we've been offering light therapy. We've been offering LED treatments, which is another form of light therapy. We do microcurrent, so it is relevant, it is needed, and it is being used here.
There is absolutely a high demand for the services. I would say we have more clients than we have skilled professionals. There is absolutely a market here for other estheticians because we have a high demand in this field and not that many skilled workers.
There is definitely a market, and it's being utilized, and it's growing. It's growing into body treatments. It's growing because people now, through technology, and of course we are very lucky in the fact that we can have these treatments and modalities available to us here through technology in terms of product development and machine development. We are seeing where people are choosing and opting to go the more non-invasive way in terms of enhancing their looks.
Client will be doing a simultaneous muscle stimulation to tighten the muscles of her leg and buttock enhancement.
The misconceptions in this field are many, so Marie and Michelle debunk them for us.
Some of the misconceptions is that as a medical esthetician, people think you have to have a medical background. No, there's no medical background needed per se, so that can be a little bit misleading, and that's why I prefer to use the term clinical esthetician, because you're working in a more clinical environment. The medical background that you should have, as far as it goes, is in the histology of the skin and understanding skin protocoling and skin phototyping and so on. But medically, you always have to refer to the profession because that's the job of the dermatologist. That's where the medical comes in. So you always, in a clinical setting, work under the supervision. Once you're going or introducing non-invasive methods, you always have to go the professional route with a medical doctor who has that medical training. Another misconception is that once you're doing a clinical treatment, it will be an immediate fix. Clinical treatments are usually offered over a course or a series because it takes time non-invasively to achieve the benefits and results that you ultimately want. And it's something that you get your clients to incorporate into their lifestyle. So it's a part of educating your client as well, so that they take ownership of what it is you're doing for them in the spa or in your boutique or in your clinical setting, and then they have the knowledge to continue doing what they need to do at home to continue these enhancements.
Some of the misconceptions, it's that we are doctors. That is furthest from the truth. Another misconception is that it's painful. That's furthest from the truth. Another misconception is that you just need one treatment in enhancement treatments. That's furthest from the truth. People also might think that the treatments are very expensive, and also people might think that the treatments don't work.
You may also be wondering about some other opportunities that may be available for estheticians. Well, listen up.
In this field, there's a lot of room to grow. You can also merge into the skincare line of products. You can start schools. You can do mentorships or, go to those community centers, awareness regarding skincare, deformities, ailments. You can do volunteer services. You can do youth enrichment. There's a lot of growth.
Some of the major opportunities that exist are, for example, working in a clinical setting alongside a dermatologist, plastic surgeon, or taking that entrepreneurial step and opening up your own boutique to really, use these treatments and modalities to focus and specialize on this area in aesthetics. The compensation range is pretty broad because it depends on what else you're doing. Sometimes most estheticians start off by just doing traditional spa therapies and then incorporate some medical aesthetic therapies. So it varies, it really varies. But I would align myself in terms of remuneration with that of a spa esthetician, and that can range. I mean, the base usually may start at about 50,000 per month, 50,000 Jamaican per month. That's where the base kind of starts at, and then after, depending on what other modalities you offer, you can then, you know, look at expanding the range of services that will, of course, obviously affect your remuneration.
Because this is a new industry, one would have to generate their income based off beauticians, and the industry standards for beauticians out of school would be $8,000 to $12,000 weekly.
Both Michelle and Marie believe that the job outlook for 2016 and beyond is looking favorable.
The job outlook for medical estheticians from now on to the future looks great. It's a booming industry in America, and I can only see that trickling into Jamaica.
Well, the industry is growing, and as such, we really need a lot of trained professionals in the industry. And I emphasize the word trained because training is paramount to your success and paramount to the benefits that you will be able to offer your clients. So the outlook is great because the industry is growing. There are a number of spas across the island, and there are opportunities here. And this is another way that nurses can get entry into this field. So there's so many nurses, and they don't all have to migrate. They don't all have to use nursing as an opportunity to go overseas. Or if they do, they can think about clinical aesthetics.
Well, if you believe becoming a professional esthetician sounds like the right fit for you, then the advice from both ladies may further solidify that.
My advice to students pursuing this field, if this is something you're passionate about, go ahead and fulfill your dreams. It has many rewards, not only towards yourself, but you'll be helping people change how they perceive themselves internally and externally.
My advice in becoming a clinical esthetician would be to ensure that you get the right education and training from an accredited institution or organization, as well as ensure that you enroll yourself and engage yourself in an apprenticeship program or work-study program for at least 1 year. The fundamentals of aesthetics is so important in becoming successful as a clinical provider of aesthetic services. And then when you complete your year in work-study or apprenticeship, it is then recommended that you can pursue a career in clinical aesthetics, and as such you would be able to learn the higher order skills needed, such as microdermabrasion, phototherapy, wart removal, and use of chemical peels that are of a clinical grade, safe to use on skin types without causing any damage to the skin. So having a fundamental knowledge and understanding of the skin is paramount to becoming a clinical esthetician, and as well as once your training is complete, getting the relevant license offered by our national agency here. Getting the relevant license is so important, and once you have taken on those requirements as a professional, the door is wide open and opportunities abound.
Violence against women is a violation of human rights. Its impact ranges from immediate to long-term physical, mental, and sexual consequences, sometimes resulting in death. It negatively impacts women's general well-being and can prevent us from fully participating in society. Be a better human being. No more violence against women. No more.